starting record. I think he'll do very well enough to keep him in games. He won't.
I think he went 4-2 as a starter. Like this year.
So yeah, I think he'll do about the same he did this year. Maybe a little bit more improvement since he had a little bit of playing time going on there for 6 games. So
I think he would win. I think he'd win about 10 games if they had the same kind of defense.
Oh, well, we got a drop call here. Thank you, AT&T, for that lovely connection we have here always there. But, yeah, that's the way it works in this business here. Yeah, I think about what Juicy was talking about. I think that he did very well as a starter, like I said before. He made it very interesting to where this was this team for a while. And people didn't know Peyton Manning was going to do well enough to coming off the bench. He had doubters, and he responded very well to what he had to do. And that's what we love about football for, because they have so many great stories here coming along here. And Brock Osweiler did a very good job being a quarterback for the Denver Broncos during that time.
I think and the way he's played, he hasn't played terrible like you want to throw. Like you want to throw the TV outside. He's done decent.
Give me a little taste of water. You keep talking for a long time, you get that dry mouth, going along there. It's always nice, though.
And we already know that Carolina probably has a good chance at getting back to the Super Bowl next year.
Yeah, last time Carolina played was when Jake Delhomme was the quarterback. Some people... I think they had this guy at the fair last night, the Mardi Gras fair here in Lafayette. We and Mike Honcho went out. We went to go see William Michael Morgan. He's a country artist, a brand new country artist. His first single is I Met a Girl. I think it's at number 41 on the chart right now, if I remember right. And that's his new single. That's his first single of his life. So, and he's actually 22 years old, pretty young for a country artist.
Yeah, he's up and coming.
All right, we got a Snapchat from a good friend of mine, John. I've been knowing John for years. John's been my friend since, I don't even remember when we became friends. That's how long it's been. It's been over at least a decade, at least for sure. He's a good buddy of mine, so we'll give him his spotlight right now. Let me go see what I got going on here. Let's see what he says, Juicy.
Panthers, but I hope Denver upsets just for Peyton Manning's one last hurrah. Go out with a bang.
All right, we got he's picking the Panthers to win it, but he's hoping for Peyton's sake that it's a upset. He really wants the Broncos to win, but he thinks the Panthers are going to win. So what does that make? We have one Bronco and everybody else Panthers. That's Caitlin picked the Panthers, Lizzie, Kelby, John, Leighton, and Ben. We have 6 Panthers and 1 Bronco. We usually have something like that, though. I want the year where we have like 50-50, which I think that was kind of like last year. We had the same thing going on here, and we had a 50-50 thing going on here. I want to know. Yeah, it was a good game, though. I was split on it for a long time, and then I'm gonna make my pick toward the end of the show here. So. We're going to do an hour-long broadcast here, live here on the Fishbowl Radio, and it's been very fun. This week has been hectic. It's all sin for a lot of different reasons, because you got Mardi Gras in town, and I'll tell you what, the traffic in Lafayette's terrible when the barricades come. It's even worse than normal.
And in Unix, too, it's the same way. They got 2nd Street blocked off like all weekend, and they got went to see lanes on 2nd Street units last night. That was
pretty nice. Yeah, Ben, he's just commented back on the chat. No, I'm a Bronco. Well, at least you're standing alone right now. I'm going to make my pick later on, and you might not be the only Bronco, or you may be the only Bronco, Ben. I'll make my pick toward the end of this show here. Yeah, I want Mike Control to get on the show. I don't know where that dude's at. He's all like, need to send a search party. If you know about the whereabouts of Mike Control right now, please contact Fishbowl Radio. We got our phone on our Spreaker page. You can contact us there, and or send us in the chat. Like, let's find out where this dude's at. Really, he's like MIA.
Where's Mike Concho?
The search for Mike Concho begins here on the Fishbowl Radio, Super Bowl 50.
Hey, I've seen your sister last night.
Oh, you seen it? You seen Nat?
I ran into Kayla.
You ran my sister?
Yeah, I ran into Kayla.
Yeah, Kayla and Marcus was over there last night. That'd be a cool person to pick. Let me see if I could, I don't know, maybe, they might not be doing nothing. I don't want to, like, call someone and they're doing something. Let me see if they're available. Hold on. I hate trying to call people in the middle of something, and it's very, interesting to do that because, you know, you got some people that might actually have something going on or whatever. Let's see. Juicy, how about we debate, how do you think the running back's gonna do? I mean, they both got really good defenses, Carolina and,
we got Jonathan
Stewart on Carolina. Yep, Jonathan Stewart for Carolina.
And, C.J. Anderson, or,
You trying to think of the other one?
C.J. Anderson.
Yeah, it is C.J. Anderson.
Kind of interesting matchup. C.J. Anderson, he never really, he's still kind of to me, he's an underrated running back. He's done a lot more for the Broncos than what people give credit for.
Well, Denver usually does have a pretty good running back. If you think about their history, they've had pretty good running backs throughout the...
Yeah,
Terrell Davis was one example of it. We can go on and on about people who played really good for the Broncos. They had... Who was it? I think it was... Can't think of his name right now off the top of my head, but I could pull up some stats and see what that comes up with.
No Sean Marino.
Yeah, it was no Sean. It was no Sean.
And they also had Willis McGahee.
Okay. Let me see. I'm going to try to get my sister on the line. Let me see. Let's see what she says. It's going to be fun. Yeah, because usually they, I usually wait till 12, because some people work on Saturdays and they all get off at 12, so we'll see what happens here.
Well, unless you like me and you work shift work, it's different.
Well, if you think about it, if you go to work at 7:30 and you get off at 12:30, then that is a shift, in my opinion. I worked shift work at McDonald's, but it wasn't the same shift. It was different shifts. But, I mean, what's your definition of shift work, Juicy?
Pretty much one constant schedule.
Oh, at the same time? At the same time? Well, I don't know the exact definition of shift work. Okay, my sister was, I'll call you in about 5 minutes. All right, that's good. That's good with me.
Which sister was that?
You'll find out. You met her already.
And your Kayla.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, she's gonna get on the phone in about 5 minutes. I hope for Ben's sake he's not by himself, because I really feel bad for Ben right now. I really do. My sympathy's toward Ben right now. He's like he's kind of like that kid on the playground that no one plays with. He's kind of sitting by himself right now. I mean, he's way out in left field. And everybody's in right field having a good time. Ben's all by himself. Okay. Yeah, I wonder how this is going to work. We have been on the air for 39 minutes right now. And we have only one pick for Bronco, which I think I'm kind of surprised at that. I thought there would have been more than one. I thought there would have been like 3 or 4 at least. Give the benefit of a doubt there. So we talked about offenses. Well, you talked about offenses. Let me talk about how I think the offense is going to play out. Peyton Manning's the best person at calling audibles all the time. You know, his favorite, Omaha, a couple of years ago. He had a pretty good season this year, Manning, when he came off the bench. At first, everybody was wondering what's wrong with Manning.
He had 9 touchdowns, 17 picks before he got benched.
Yeah. It was a very bad start to the season. I had a fantasy league. People were dropping Peyton Manning, and you would never think you see today. Because, I mean, he wasn't producing. He was hurting you more than anything else. He's hitting it when it counts, which, you know what? I'd rather have a terrible regular season than have a great postseason. But you might not be the starter anymore if you have a terrible regular season.
And as terrible as his regular season was, they were actually like undefeated during that streak.
Yeah, the defense gets all the credit there. But if Peyton Manning's on there in the Super Bowl, the Panthers better be ready because they're going to be having a tough time stopping Peyton Manning in that offense because he has a lot of weapons he can throw to and get the ball to his playmakers. That's all he needs to do.
Mm-hmm. He's got Emmanuel Sanders and Demarius Thomas on the outside. He's got
Owen Daniels at tight end. C.J. Anderson at running back. He's got a lot of weapons. I mean, he can call audibles, throw passes to different people. He used to have Wes Welker. Does he still have Wes Welker? I think he,
I don't know if they still have Wes Welker or not.
Yeah, they had him like 2 years ago or something. I don't remember, not off the top of my head. But the Broncos have done pretty good for themselves. We'll see what happens. We will see. It's going to be a very fun game. Okay, Juicy, what's your favorite... Okay, since we're on the topic of the Super Bowl, what's your favorite Super Bowl commercial of all time?
My favorite Super Bowl commercial of all time?
I got mine in my head right now. It's perfect. You'll know it once I say it.
Why don't you give me yours first? Because I got to think about it. I don't know. There's quite a few of them good.
Okay, this was a couple of years ago. I don't know if you remember that little kid. And he had the dad comes in through the door, and he literally he says, "Get your hands off my mama, get your hands off my Doritos." Yeah, that's my favorite. It's just great because that was a fun one. And another one that I like was the Clydesdale horses with the puppy. The puppy's kind of lost, you know.
Yeah, that was actually going to be the one that I was going to say. I just thought about that.
Yeah, that was okay. Juicy, tell your favorite.
The Clydesdale with the little puppy, like you were saying.
It's
My favorite one.
Another good Super Bowl commercial that I think was good. Dodge had a pretty good one a couple of years ago. I don't think it was. Maybe it was last year. Was it last year? God made a farmer. I think that's what it was.
And while we're on Super Bowl, what was your favorite Super Bowl halftime performance?
That I watched over the years. I really liked. This one. This is kind of a tough one. You got. I was a young kid in the '90s, so I can't really say much for the '90s. But in the 2000s, well, we had the Janet Jackson.
Yeah, the Janet Jackson wardrobe malfunction.
Yeah, that.
36.
Yeah, and that's been a couple of years ago. I think that was like 14 years ago.
A couple years ago. That was like 14 years ago.
Couple. You could say. Katy Perry did a pretty good job. Yeah, the Left Shark sensation last year. I thought the Who did pretty good. It's hard to say a best one because they all did jobs and did pretty good with them. I remember seeing Shania Twain. She performed during the Super Bowl.
But I guess one of my favorite ones would probably be when Tom Petty performed in Super Bowl 42.
Yeah, Tom Petty did a good job. But I think I'll probably go with the Who because I kind of remember the Who. This is the Saints Super Bowl. It's probably why it's my favorite, but.
And while we on Super Bowl talk, what's been your favorite Super Bowl game to watch?
If I had to pick the best Super Bowl I've ever watched, you cannot get better than Super Bowl. I think it was, 42. That was the Giants and the Patriots. Patriots was undefeated going into the last game of the year. And the Giants, who they had already beaten earlier that year, they were just sitting there. I think that's the best Super Bowl of all time because you look at it, the story was so great because it was, you had this undefeated team that could go 19-0 and literally knock the Dolphins that were undefeated back in 1970. Is it 73? Yeah, I was like 72.